Hello! In this video, we're going to take a look at the state SGO scoring tool, an aspect of it that may be good for us to integrate into our existing on-course SGO tool. So we're going to start with this email that came from the state and was sent to the participants in the July 17th state training. I will be sending a copy of this email to Scott and Liz along with these attachments. And so that's basically where we will start. One important note right out of the gate is that these files cannot be uploaded to Drive. If we try to work with them from Drive, then we lose functionality. So that's actually a major drawback of the product at this time. So I'm going to go ahead and download each of these files locally onto my desktop. So this is the tracking tool itself, which is an Excel spreadsheet. And this is a set of demo data. So again, we can't work with either or both of these through Drive. We need to be working with them downloaded locally onto the desktop. And so we will start first with the tool itself. You see there's a series of tabs at the bottom. We're going to start with fall input. This tool will allow us to be able to put in multiple sets of baseline data, up to 5. See column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, column 5. We can dump this baseline data into the program, and it will tier students, and it will create preparedness groups for students seamlessly. And so we'll together go and do this with some demo data, and I think that will demonstrate some of the functionalities that would be really neat for us to be able to actually have in OnCourse. So I'm going to go to the data sheet. This is just a set of dummy data, demo data. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to then go back to the scoring tool. I actually have 2 of these open. I'm going to minimize one. Again, I'm working in the fall input tab. And I just dumped the demo data into the fall input tab. And as you can see, there's student names in this column. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns that each represent one baseline measure of student achievement. They have to be on a scale of 1 through 100. And so if teachers are using baseline data that's not on a scale of 1 to 100, there would need to be some kind of conversion that takes place. But as you can see, as soon as this data was populated into these fields automatically became populated based on that data. And so here it shows us if we were to take all of this data and create 2 tiers, or 3 tiers, or 4 tiers, or 5 tiers, it would give us some cutoff information about what those numbers would look like in terms of where kids would be tiered. I'm going to go with 3 right now. I think a lot of teachers are using 3 statewide in the training. They alluded to that. And it makes a lot of sense in many cases to do like a low, medium, high. So for the purposes of this demonstration, we're going to go with that. And so we actually, in these fields, are going to enter in the number of tiers. And so we're going to go with 3. So again, all we've done so far is we've taken demo data, 5 sets of baseline measures, and we've indicated to the program that we want 3 tiers. And here, in my opinion, is where the magic happens. We're currently in the fall input tab. When we go to fall tiering and targets, this spreadsheet has done the work for us in terms of creating preparedness groups. So if we were to take Peter, for example, it tiered Peter individually for this baseline measure, for this baseline measure, this one, and this one. So it looked at his score in comparison to everybody else in the data set and tiered him individually for each of these measures of success that were part of the baseline data. It then put him in tier 3 preparedness group. And it did that for all of the students in the data set. It put them in tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3. If I chose more, let's say I chose 4 tiers, then it would have organized the kids into tiers 1 through 4. This is the beauty of this tool, again, in my opinion. We want teachers to be using multiple measures of baseline data in order for them to determine which preparedness group their kids should be in. But it's challenging, I think, in some ways for them to be able to do that and to do that well, with a minimum amount of manual calculation. And that's what this tool enables the teachers to do. In my opinion, beyond this tool, beyond this aspect of this particular tool, there's not a whole lot that this tool overall does that we already can't do in OnCourse. And so we looked at fall input, which was the first tab. We're now looking at fall tiering and targets. The next tab, monitoring and adjustment. It's not a whole lot different than what we would be able to do in OnCourse. Mid-year review. We have the opportunity to do that in OnCourse as well. We can change some things in here, but we can also change them in OnCourse if we wanted to as well. There's the opportunity for entering in some data for finishing the SGO. And then there's the form itself. But again, in taking a look at all of it, being able to put in this data, being able to tell it how many tiers we want, and then in the second tab, actually being able to tier the kids, I think this is what represents a big leap ahead from what we're able to do in OnCourse right now. So I hope that this video was helpful. I know that there's a meeting taking place with OnCourse, I think, one day next week. I hope this information is helpful in perhaps suggesting to OnCourse that they may, or asking if they're able to integrate this aspect of the state tool into the SGO tool that we're currently using in Cranford. Again, I hope this video was helpful, and look forward to next steps. Thanks a lot for watching.